Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Glad to be here.
So today, we're diving into a specific Grateful Dead show, May 29th, 1980, Des Moines Civic Center.
Right. And we're looking at a review from GratefulDeadBook.com.
Exactly. The idea is to kind of unpack what the review says, get the vibe of the show, pull out the highlights, basically give you a feel for it without needing the full multi-hour listen right now.
Makes sense. A snapshot.
Yeah. And this is part of our On This Day in Grateful Dead history. And just a reminder, if you want listening guides for this show and others this week, check the link in the bio for This Week in Grateful Dead history.
Okay, so this review, it wastes no time, calls the show an absolute standout.
Standout, huh? What else?
Describes it as tight, high energy, and packed with great moments from start to finish. So right away, it sounds like they were really on.
Yeah, tight and high energy definitely paints a picture. So the first set, how did that kick off, according to the review?
With a fiery Alabama getaway into Promised Land.
Fiery? Okay, so they came out hot.
It seems like it. But then, it apparently settled into an easy groove. Mentioned to sparkling. They love each other.
Ah, okay. So a bit of a dynamic shift early on, from fiery to sparkling.
Exactly. And then there was a Candyman highlight called Beautifully Played.
Oh, yeah.
Landed like pure gold, the review says. Which, for Candyman, suggests, real care and emotion.
Definitely. That implies something special. What came after that delicate moment?
Contrasting that, it was a Minglewood Blues that was apparently a rager.
A rager. Okay, so they cranked the energy right back up, got the place moving.
Sounds like it. And the set closed strong, too.
How so?
With an electrifying combo, Let It Grow Into Deal. The review specifically notes that it carried the energy forward, like a strong lead-in to the second set.
Nice. Okay, so second set then.
Yeah.
Picks up the energy.
You bet. It started with a funky, full throttle, Feel Like a Stranger.
Full throttle. Love it.
And then here's a sequence the review really zooms in on. An incredibly fluid estimated profit.
That
transitioned seamlessly into Eyes of the World.
Seamlessly. That's always a good sign with estimated eyes.
Totally. And the Eyes itself was called Well Developed with gorgeous soloing. Sounds like a real improvisational highlight.
Yeah, definitely a peak moment described there. What about After Eyes?
Well, there were teasing hints of the other one, apparently, before they dropped into Drums in Space.
Ah, the hints. Classic. And Drum Space.
Billy and Mickey creating a tribal and hypnotic atmosphere. That's the description used.
Tribal and hypnotic, got it. And Coming Out of Space.
A beautifully emerging lost sailor into saint of circumstance.
Beautifully emerging. I like that phrasing. It suggests, patience.
Yeah. And it notes Bobby's lyrics cutting through and the whole thing maintaining incredible momentum.
So still driving forward, even out of the abstract section.
Right. But then, maybe the emotional core of the set. The review calls this one of the night's truly defining moments.
Okay. What was it?
A breathtaking comes a time, described as dripping with delicate emotion and spiritual depth.
Wow. For Comes a Time to be called defining, that performance must have really hit hard.
Sounds like it. Real depth there.
So after that deep moment, how did they wrap up the main set?
Pure energy, pure rock and roll fire is the quote. A double shot of Chuck Berry.
Around Johnny B. Good?
That's the one, with relentless drive to finish.
Classic closer combo. Okay, so the encore, what sealed the deal?
U.S. Blues. Called a bopping celebratory send-off.
Perfect.
Yeah, the review says it was the ideal exclamation point, the overall take. An incredible show from top to bottom.
Okay, so summing up this review from GratefulDeadBook.com, May 29th, 1980 in Des Moines sounds like it was just a killer show. High energy, tight playing all night, but also these really specific standout moments, dynamic shifts in the first set, that seamless estimated eyes, the really deep Comes a Time.
Right. And what's interesting, is how certain moments get called out like that. That breathtaking comes a time, or the seamless transition, in a show that's strong overall.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what is it about that one song or that one transition that makes it feel like the defining moment of the whole night? What elevates it?
That's a great question. Something to think about for sure. And remember, if you want to explore listening guides for this show and others from This Week in Grateful Dead history, that link is in the bio.